Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL Team League. I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. And dude, if this is going to be as sick as the last Team League, I don't know what I'm going to do, man.
Well, Tasteless, if it's that sick, you may very well die alongside me.
Yeah.
I am so stoked for this because last time we had the greatest thing I've seen in StarCraft 2. I hope we do again. Here they are. Incredible Miracle against ZeNEX, our first match of the day. Last Team League's champions, Incredible Miracle.
Yep.
Going up against ZeNEX, who died pretty early, Tasteless.
Yeah.
They didn't do so well.
You know, this is definitely a match where obviously I am Incredible Miracle going to be the favorite. But you never know. I mean, we've seen a lot of upsets in Season 5 of the GSL Individual League.
Yeah.
In Code S. Even players like MVP getting knocked down to Code A. So maybe we're going to see an upset here today. You never know what to expect.
That's right. The two aces of IM went to the up-and-down matches, of which only one came out. So despite being a hugely strong team, there is a possibility here. And there's their championship flag.
This is the GSL Magic Carpet that John normally uses to fly to work.
Yeah.
But today, we're going to be using it to represent the champion team who dominated. Well, actually not dominating in the finals, but up until the finals, really very one-sided victories. We got a lot of heavyweights here coming from IM. Players like Nesty, players like MVP, players that we don't even see in Code S or Code A like Seed or Younghwa. So, you know, it's tough.
Guys.
I love those guys. Well, they're just so talented. Don't forget people like Lucira. It's just so many top players. ZeNEX, they're a solid team, but they don't have as many heavy hitters.
No, they don't. You know, when you think of ZeNEX, you think of, well, Kyrix.
Yeah.
And aside from that, it gets a little bit harder to really be like, all right, this guy is your super good player. I know that they have a lot of players that aren't really doing all that well, but they have a lot of faith in. In fact, they did not even use Kyrix as their ace before. So we'll have to see how this goes, how they want to choose their players.
Well, let's go and take a look at the IM player lineup. And by the way, check out those baller flames. And our once again redone studio. Here's the team IM. King, we have Junwei, Seed, Nesty, champion of Season 2, MVP, Game Genie Terran, Yoda, the Force is strong with this one.
Yeah. Younghwa, Lucira, and the coach.
That's the coach. Friendly guy. Very talented coach, clearly, considering the success of his team.
Yeah.
But let's, let's take a little bit more looking into of this team's background.
Notice their two top Zergs in Code S, whereas MVP falling down, showing that he is an MVP in everything except Terran versus Protoss.
Yes, MVP in a big upset, dropping down to Code A. But look, I mean, MVP is still a very deadly opponent.
You know what I'm MVP stands for, Tasteless? I'm mad versus Protoss.
Oh.
Because he loses to Protoss quite a bit. He did in the Team League even. It's very telling. That's is his
good
weakness.
Point.
People have figured out how to break the Game Genie. And that's all there is to it.
That's rough. Yeah, he's very good TDT. I think he's almost unmatched Terran versus Terran.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And TVZ, he's got solid pushes.
Yeah,
I
think he's unmatched in Terran versus Zerg as
He
well.
takes away the slugfest quality of Terran versus Zerg, where it's just two armies clashing back and forth. Generally, his first push kills a Zerg.
Yeah.
Or at least cripples
Instead
him so
of
tremendously.
Two players clashing back and forth, as you said. It is one guy rolling over the other.
Yeah.
So we're going to see him probably thrown out.
Now let's take a look at Team ZeNEX. There's Zero. Heck. There's Jun, Koka, Yun, Ice Cream. What flavor? And here is the coach for Team ZeNEX.
No,
now, of course,
Kyrix.
Yeah, interesting enough, Kyrix not in today's lineup they picked out today.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Well, their three heavy hitters for today will certainly be Byun, Koka, and Jun. We've seen Jun and Koka put out some pretty good games in Code A. You know, they aren't Code S level. They really do seem Code A level, though. Very strong in that league. But I think it's going to be up to Bjorn to really get something done.
Nice one. That actually took me a minute. That was one of those jokes, Artosis, where my CPU had to process it at first.
Yeah.
I had to buffer it, and eventually it hit me. You're a funny guy.
Thank you, Tasty.
No problem.
You're a slow computer.
I'll get my RAM. I'll get some G-Skill put in there.
Oh, that's a really
look at that escape joke there. You put me in an awkward situation, but I Houdini out of that stuff, Artosis.
Yeah, you do.
Now, onto this team, though.
Even Houdini had a last trick to his system. You better watch out.
I'll be careful. Excuse me. Now, of course, this lineup not as well known or as intimidating as IM's, but you never know. You get a good coach who can, sort of distribute the players correctly, get good matchups in his favor, incorporate some cheese into the style, and we could see IM go down.
You have to know which players to put out, and I thought that the one team that did it completely perfectly last season was StarTail. They really knew when to put who out. I was so impressed when they threw out, for instance, against TSL, against Killer, they threw out Jelizerg. It was like a perfect move. I hope that these teams can all improve this season. For instance, IM last season using Junwei, kind of giving some free points away. That guy has never won a match on TV, I think. So
yeah, Junwei's having a hard time.
So yeah, I hope that all the teams have worked on how to decide who to put out. It's actually really important. Things like style come into play, confidence in a matchup, things like that. Like, all right, I can put this guy out to take out this guy or that guy, but is there a sniper for this guy if he wins as opposed to that guy?
Which players have better stamina? Which players have more of a variety in ways they approach the game? For just like Jelizerg, somebody who can play all sorts of different styles, unlike some of our other players where I think they tend to fit into a player doesn't come to mind for me, but somebody who you kind of, Kyrix, for instance, you could sort of put him in a box a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's stuff you have to keep in mind is what order are we going to bring them out, what matchups are they strong in, and as you said, do they have a sniper player, somebody who's going to be really strong against a specific player? Do we want to keep him, save him for the right moment?
For instance, MVP, if you know that ZeNEX has a strong Protoss waiting, don't put him out yet.
Yeah.
Save him. Because, he'll go out and win that one match against Terran for you, no doubt. But when the Protoss comes out, he's not going to be so reliable.
Exactly. We're going to throw up some more information here about the GSTL on the screen now.
Careful, cameraman.
I was getting worried about him.
Falls on his back. Hold on, I got to go help this turtle out.
As you can see, we got quite a big prize pool here. List of teams, no shocker there.
Best Coach Award. That's something new that we have. He's going to get $1 million. That's about $900 or so.
Yep.
And he'll be the Korean team captain, the coach, for the World Championship, which is coming up pretty soon here.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I believe, the next event we're doing here.
It is.
Down at
I'm
TV.
really excited about that one as well.
Amped, man.
We have nothing but great events for you guys, one after another, right in a row.
I cannot wait to get this started. It's going to be so awesome. But first, let's go and take a look at the results from our previous tournament. We're going to throw that up on screen for you guys. As you can see, I am making it all the way to the finals pretty easily. StarTail making it to the finals. And if you guys have not seen the finals of that tournament, please.
That was like the best day of StarCraft.
That was my best casting day ever. As far as I was so excited. The games were so good. I had no clue who was going to win.
Yeah, it was certainly one of the best days in StarCraft 2 history. So definitely something to watch. And tell everyone to watch this as well. It's very important. This is going to be great. Here we see the brackets. IM versus ZeNEX. BoYu against TSL. We're going to have both those matches today. And then tomorrow we're going to have OGS against Slayers. That I'm really interested in. And then Prime.we. Can they make a comeback this season, Tastes? They're going to be up against the defending runners-up, StarTail.
Should be a pretty sick tournament. StarTail and IM on opposite sides of the brackets here, so we could see the same finals once again.
It is certainly a possibility. OGS and Slayers very strong, though. It's going to be a hard road for StarTail.
Now here's the league format.
It's going to be round of 8 and semifinals, best of 7. And then the finals are going to be best of 9. Oh, wow, we're actually in the background of that. I was like,
oh my God, we're actually they can actually see us in that. That's when we revert back into nerd posture and turn into cashew nuts.
So you see there's some new maps, Dual Sight, Typhon Peaks, and Zelnaga Fortress. I'm really excited. I haven't actually gotten to play on the two new ones there.
I have
Typhon
not
Peaks, of course, is the ladder map. Been playing that together.
Yeah, I have not had the chance to play them. By the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the finals of what we just casted. MC. You know what he put on Twitter? Woo. Did you see it?
Yeah, he's like, I'm God
I'm
Protoss.
a God Protoss. By the way, a lot of the pro gamers out there are getting on Twitter, so in coming up here, add me on Twitter. I'm Call Me Tasteless. He's Artosis. I'm going to put a list of all the pro gamers' Twitter accounts.
A lot of Korean pro gamers are getting on Twitter.
Yeah.
A lot of foreign pro gamers.
That'd be a good way for you guys to communicate with them. So, as you can see here, this is the last season's games. And, man, so much personality coming out of these games, so much drama.
And an angry Clyde.
Jelizer, MVP.
Ooh, Bomber. Saying,
No, you didn't.
ST wiggling out and winning it for him against Squirtle in the finals, if you recall. What a great
Squirtle
call.
was captured.
He was, man. Squirtle fainted after that.
Oof. So it's going to be it all over again. I'm predicting this right now. I think it's going to be a StarTale and IM final.
Really?
Yeah.
I am actually going to go with... I think that the winner of OGS and Slayers will be in the final against IM. That's my prediction. Yes. I think StarTale is a great and wonderful team. OGS is always so solid, and MC, can he be beaten? It's kind of like last season. We were looking at MVP.
The MC factor is sort of like...
Yeah, it's what MVP was last season, where we're like, I don't know if this guy can actually lose to anyone on any of these teams. And at that exact time, he was so ridiculously good and did some amazing things. Now, MC's kind of like that. Also, Slayers is an up-and-coming team. They're getting a lot better, and they have my man crush Alicia. He can take out any Terran in the world.
Alicia's good.
So,
and of course,
I could see them doing very well.
Yeah.
I don't know. StarTale is going to have a very hard match in the semis.
It's going to be tough.
There.
I think that side of the bracket a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
But then again, TSL has really been improving a lot. TSL is a strong team.
That's very true.
They got a solid coach, Coach Lee. He's a really smart guy. Yeah. And, again, we're not exaggerating here. The coach here has to make some very difficult decisions in a team league. You have to really not just understand your own team and your own players, but understand your opponent's team and their players as well.
You have to actually understand which styles go well against which. You have to actually know which styles everyone has. It's actually really, really hard. So few people in the world understand this type of thing. So it's going to be a lot of hard calls for these players. But, that's actually quite true. I think TSL definitely has the potential to make it to the finals.
It's exciting for people like Artosis and me to do this because we were